Check out the 60th anniversary Spidey figures. The only one I'm missing is the Japanese Spider-Man. Really can't wait to get my hands on him so that I can line up all the boxes and the figures. All of these are really looking great, maybe except for this one. This one is kind of like meh, okay, but yeah, it also has the same packaging as the rest. And this new packaging is actually looking real good. There's definitely been many discussions about the new packaging. Here are the front of the packaging with all the pictures of the figures, and all the Spideys actually have the same pose. Specifically, this pose. Although Spinneret did try her best to get the pose done. And here's the back of the box. Each of the figures have their own different poses. And it also shows the accessories that comes along with each figure. At the top of the boxes, there is the logo of 60 Amazing Years of Spider-Man, and also the Into the Spider-Verse logo for the Spider-Man Noir, and the MCU Spider logo for the MCU Peter Parker and Ned Leeds. Now, why do I say that this packaging is awesome? The artwork at the side of the packaging is really good. On one side, you have the pictures of the figure in the vanilla pose, and on the other are the artworks of each of the characters. And if you have the boxes lined up, they actually look really good on either of these two sides. Except that, of course, the 2-pack is kind of wider, so it's a bit difficult to line them up with the single-packed figures. For the 60th anniversary Spidey figures, they have this half Spidey face at the top corner of the box. And for the 2-pack, it's actually at the bottom. The second good point about the packaging is that it is a bit smaller, therefore it takes up less space if you store them. The previous packaging is slightly bigger, taller, and also wider compared to this new packaging. The new packaging is also flatter compared to the previous one, which is kind of slightly curved, so it is easier to keep the new box and stack them up, unlike the previous packaging. Here's how they look like at the back and bottom. And third good point about the new packaging is that now I don't have to buy doubles of the figure. Because if I want to keep the packaging, I can just take out the figure and no one would know that the box is actually empty. Lol. I used to get doubles of all the Spidey figures because I want one of them in packaging and one of them loose. But now, I can just buy one set only. Because you can't see the figure in the packaging anyways. Now, for the disadvantages of the new packaging. First is definitely one that has been talked about many times, which is we can't check the figure. We can't look out for any defects, and it's really down to luck whether we get a good figure or we get some defects or paintwork problems. But then again, that's not much of a concern for me because most of the time, I pre-order my figures, so I can't choose anyways. Why do I pre-order my figures? Because it is slightly cheaper than trying to find them in retail. And also sometimes it's really hard to find certain figures in retail, so just pre-ordering makes it so much easier for me. Second concern that most people talked about are the figure swaps. Thankfully in my country, it's really rare to see any figure swaps. But again, it's really not a concern for me because I pre-order my figures from trusted sources. So figure swaps is definitely one that I have not experienced before. And the third disadvantage of this packaging is that you can't admire the figure in the packaging like this. I know some of you guys really just rip the packaging apart, but for some of us, we really do appreciate just looking at the figure in the packaging with all the accessories laid out like this. So that's definitely one thing that we can't do anymore. We really can't admire the figure in packaging because, we can't see the figures in those new boxes. And lastly, definitely is the price point. I don't understand Hasbro talking about trying to reduce the environmental impact, but in the end, we have to pay more. I don't know whether it is because of this being the 60th anniversary exclusive or something, but these figures really should have just stayed at the same retail price, at the very least, since we really cut down a lot of plastic, right? But given a choice, I definitely prefer Hasbro to go back to the previous packaging, as being able to see the actual figures is so important. I really wonder if Hasbro will ever revert to the previous packaging, or at least come up with a new packaging that will have a see-through window, like how it was before this. Thanks for watching. Do stay tuned for my reviews of these figures, and check out my other reviews and comparison at my channel.